Imagine this. It's a quiet evening, and you're just wrapping up a long day at work, thinking about heading home to your family. The phone rings, and on the other end, a voice you don't recognize stops your heart. That's exactly what happened to Sarah Thompson on that fateful Tuesday night. Mrs. Thompson, this is Dr. Ellis from Mercy Hospital. Your daughter Emily has been in an accident. She fell down the stairs at home. You need to get here right away. Sarah's world spun out of control in that instant. Her 8-year-old daughter, her little sunshine, hurt? How could this be? She dropped everything, grabbed her keys, and raced to the hospital, her mind flooded with questions. Was Emily okay? What exactly happened? And why wasn't her husband, Mark, the one calling her? Bursting through the hospital doors, the sterile smell hit her like a wave. Nurses hurried past, machines beeped in the distance, and there, in the waiting room, sat Mark, pale and shaken. "Sarah, thank God you are here," he said, standing to hug her. But something felt off. His eyes darted away, avoiding hers. "What happened, Mark?" "Tell me everything," she demanded, voice trembling. He explained that Emily had been playing upstairs, lost her balance, and tumbled down. He found her at the bottom, unconscious, and called an ambulance right away. It sounded straightforward, like a terrible accident. But as Sarah sat there waiting for news, a tiny seed of doubt planted itself in her mind. Emily was careful, always holding the railing. And Mark? He'd been acting strange lately, distant, coming home late. Was there more to this? The doctor finally emerged, his face serious but reassuring. "Emily has a broken arm and some bruises, but she's stable. She'll stay overnight for observation." Relief washed over Sarah, mixed with worry. She rushed to Emily's room, where her daughter lay, looking so small and fragile. "Mommy," Emily whispered, eyes fluttering open. "It hurts." Sarah held her hand, fighting tears. "I'm here, sweetie. You're going to be okay." But as she stroked Emily's hair, she noticed something. A faint bruise on her wrist, like fingerprints. How did that get there from a fall? Sarah pushed the thought away, telling herself she was overthinking. Accidents happen, right? But deep down, that doubt grew stronger. Over the next few hours, as Emily drifted in and out of sleep, Sarah and Mark sat in silence. He kept checking his phone, which buzzed every few minutes. "Work stuff," he muttered when she asked. Sarah nodded, but her mind raced. Why was he so distracted at a time like this? As the night wore on, she replayed the day's events. She'd been at a conference out of town, leaving Mark in charge. He was a good father, or so she thought, always playing games with Emily, helping with homework. But lately, arguments had crept into their marriage. Money troubles, his long hours. Could stress have played a role? Sarah shook her head. No, it was just an accident. But as she watched Emily sleep, she made a silent promise. She'd get to the bottom of this, no matter what. The hospital lights dimmed for the night, and Sarah settled into the uncomfortable chair beside the bed. Mark offered to stay, but she sent him home to rest. Alone with her thoughts, she couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. What if Emily hadn't fallen? What if someone... No, that was crazy, but the questions kept coming. Why didn't Mark hear her fall sooner? Why was he so quick to explain everything? As the clock ticked past midnight, Sarah's exhaustion mixed with growing unease. Little did she know, this was just the beginning of a nightmare that would unravel her entire life. What secrets was Mark hiding? And how far would Sarah go to uncover the truth? Let's step back to paint the picture of Sarah's life before that dreadful call. Sarah Thompson was your everyday mom, dedicated, loving, always putting her family first. She worked as a teacher at the local elementary school, shaping young minds with patience and kindness. Her husband, Mark, was a salesman for a big company, charming and ambitious, always chasing the next deal. And then there was Emily, their bright-eyed daughter, full of energy and dreams. They lived in a cozy suburban house with a white picket fence, the kind of place that looked straight out of a family movie. Weekends were filled with picnics in the park, movie nights with popcorn, laughter echoing through the halls. From the outside, they had it all. But like so many families, cracks were starting to show. It started small. Mark working late more often, forgetting anniversaries, snapping at little things. Sarah chalked it up to job stress. His company was going through changes, and he was under pressure. "I'll make it up to you," he'd say with that winning smile, and she'd believe him. Emily, though, sensed the tension. "Why is Daddy always mad?" she'd ask, her innocent eyes wide. Sarah would hug her tight and say, "He's just tired, sweetie. He'll be okay." But deep down, Sarah worried. Their marriage, once full of passion, had cooled into routine. Date nights became rare, conversations turned to bills and schedules. One evening, a few weeks before the accident, Sarah found Mark's phone buzzing on the kitchen counter. She wasn't the type to snoop, but curiosity got the better of her. A text from an unknown number. "Can't wait to see you tonight." Her heart skipped a beat. When she confronted him, he laughed it off. "It's a client, Sarah." "You're being paranoid." She wanted to believe him, so she let it go. But the seed of mistrust was planted. Emily, meanwhile, was thriving, top of her class, loving ballet classes, always drawing pictures of their family holding hands. Sarah's world revolved around her daughter. "You're my everything," she'd whisper at bedtime. Fast forward to the days before the accident. Sarah had to attend a teacher's conference 2 hours away. "You'll be fine, right?" she asked Mark as she packed. He nodded, kissing her forehead. "Of course. Emily and I will have fun, pizza and movies." Emily waved goodbye from the doorway, her ponytail bouncing. Sarah drove off, feeling a twinge of guilt for leaving, but excited for the break. Little did she know, while she was away, shadows were creeping into her home. Back at the hospital, as Sarah reflected on these memories, the pieces fell off. Why had Mark insisted she go to the conference alone? And that bruise on Emily's wrist, it haunted her. The next morning, Emily woke up feeling better. "Mommy, can we go home?" she asked with a weak smile. Sarah beamed, but scanned her daughter's face for clues. "Soon, baby. Tell me, what do you remember about the fall?" Emily's eyes flickered, looking away. I slipped, that's all." But her voice was hesitant, like she was reciting lines. Sarah's stomach twisted. Was her daughter hiding something? Or was fear holding her back? As the doctor discharged Emily with a cast on her arm, Mark arrived to pick them up. He was all smiles, helping Emily into the car. But Sarah watched him closely now. On the drive home, silence hung heavy. Emily stared out the window, unusually quiet. When they pulled into the driveway, Sarah glanced at the stairs inside, steep but carpeted. How bad could a fall be? She helped Emily to her room, tucked her in for a nap. Alone in the kitchen, Sarah poured coffee, mind racing. She needed answers. Quietly, she looked around. Mark's jacket pocket, his desk drawers. Nothing obvious. But then, in the trash bin, A crumpled receipt from a hotel the night before the accident. Her blood ran cold. What was going on? The day wore on, and Sarah played the concerned mother, but suspicion brewed. That evening, as Mark grilled burgers in the backyard, she watched him through the window. He seemed relaxed, too relaxed. Emily joined them for dinner, picking at her food. "Daddy, remember the game we played?" she said softly. Mark shot her a look, sharp, warning. Sarah caught it. What game? Her heart pounded. As night fell, she lay awake beside Mark, pretending to sleep. His phone buzzed again. She noted the number. Tomorrow, she'd dig deeper. The perfect family facade was cracking, and Sarah was about to shatter it wide open. The days after Emily's hospital stay blurred into a routine of pain meds, checkups, and forced family time. Sarah threw herself into caring for her daughter, but every quiet moment brought back that nagging doubt. The bruise on Emily's wrist had faded to yellow, but the memory lingered like a ghost. "Tell me again, sweetie, how did you fall?" Sarah asked one afternoon while helping Emily color with her good hand. Emily paused, crayon hovering. "I was running to get my doll, and my foot slipped." But her eyes didn't meet Sarah's, and her voice lacked conviction. Sarah's chest tightened. Kids lie sometimes, but this felt different. Scared. Mark was back to his old self, charming at breakfast, distant by dinner. He left for work early, came home late, always with excuses. "Big project deadline," he'd say, pecking her cheek. Sarah nodded, but her trust eroded. One evening, while he was in the shower, she grabbed his phone. Password protected, but she knew his code, their anniversary date. Heart racing, she scrolled through messages. There it was. Text from Lisa. Flirty, intimate. "Miss you already. Last night was amazing. Dates matched the hotel receipt." Sarah's world tilted. Mark was cheating? Rage bubbled, but she forced calm. She needed more. The next day, with Emily at school, Sarah called in sick. She drove to the hotel from the receipt, a small place downtown. The clerk remembered Mark. "Yeah, he comes here sometimes with a woman, blonde, pretty." Sarah's hand shook as she thanked him. Who was Lisa? A quick search on her phone. Mark's coworker from his LinkedIn. Young, ambitious. Betrayal hit like a punch. But how did this connect to Emily's fall? Sarah's mind connected dots. The night of the accident, Mark was supposed to be home alone with Emily. Was Lisa there? Back home, Sarah searched more thoroughly. In the laundry hamper, a shirt with lipstick stains, not her shade. Under the bed, an earring that wasn't hers. Clues piled up like storm clouds. That afternoon, Emily came home, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Mom, can I have a snack?" Sarah smiled, watching closely. During homework, she probed gently. "Did Daddy have a friend over while I was away?" Emily froze, then shook her head too quickly. "No." But tears welled up. "Sweetie, you can tell me anything. I promise." Emily burst into sobs. "Daddy said not to say. He said it was a secret." Sarah's blood boiled. Holding Emily close, she whispered, "It's okay." "What secret?" Through hiccups, Emily confessed, "A lady came over." They were laughing upstairs. "I wanted to play, but Daddy yelled at me to go away." Then I heard shouting. Sarah's heart shattered. So Lisa was there. But the fall. Did something happen on the stairs? Emily nodded slowly. "The lady pushed me. She said I was in the way." Shock crashed over Sarah. Not an accident. Deliberate. Mark's lover had hurt her daughter to keep a secret? And Mark covered it up? Fury mixed with heartbreak. Sarah comforted Emily, promising protection. We'll fix this, baby. But inside, a storm raged. How could Mark betray them like this? Let someone harm their child? As Emily napped, Sarah paced the kitchen, mind spinning. She needed proof, something solid. Phone records, maybe hotel security footage, and Emily's story. But she couldn't put her daughter through more trauma. No, Sarah would handle this herself. That night, Mark came home to a quiet house. Sarah played normal, but her eyes were steel. "How was your day?" she asked sweetly. He rambled about work, oblivious, but Sarah saw him now, the liar, the cheater, the protector of evil. Betrayal sneaks up, doesn't it? One moment, you're trusting someone with your life, and the next, everything crumbles. For Sarah, the full weight hit the morning after Emily's confession. She dropped her daughter at school with extra hugs, then headed to Mark's office. Lisa's desk was in the sales department. Sarah had visited for company parties. Pretending to surprise Mark, she wandered in. There she was, Lisa, typing away, looking innocent. Sarah's pulse thundered. "Hi, are you Lisa?" "I'm Sarah, Mark's wife." Lisa's face paled. "Oh, yes. Can I help you?" They stepped into a conference room. Sarah cut to the chase. "I know about you and Mark. And I know what happened to my daughter?" Lisa's eyes widened in panic. "I don't know what you're talking about." But Sarah pressed. "Emily told me. You were at my house. You pushed her." Tears streamed down Lisa's face. "It was an accident." "She came upstairs, saw us. I panicked. I just shoved her away and she fell. Mark said he'd handle it." Sarah's vision blurred with anger. "Handle it? By lying? Covering for you?" Lisa sobbed. "I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt her." Sorry? That word meant nothing. Sarah recorded the conversation secretly on her phone. Proof. "Stay away from my family," she hissed, storming out. Back in her car, she replayed it, heart aching. Mark knew. He chose his affair over his daughter. Betrayal wasn't just infidelity, it was endangering their child. How could he? Memories flooded. Their wedding vows, Emily's birth, family vacations, all tainted now. That afternoon, Sarah picked up Emily, mindset on action. But first, she needed to protect her daughter. She called a lawyer friend asking about custody. "Gather evidence," the friend advised. "Texts, witnesses." Sarah nodded, steeling herself. At home, she went through Mark's computer. Password guessed again. Emails to Lisa, plans to leave Sarah. Once the kid's better, we'll start fresh. The kid? Emily was just the kid to him now? Sarah copied everything, tears falling. When Mark got home, tension crackled. Dinner was silent. Emily sensed it, eating quickly and excusing herself. Alone, Sarah confronted him. "I know about Lisa." "And what really happened to Emily?" Mark's fork clattered. "What?" "Sarah, it's not... Don't lie." She played the recording. His face crumpled. "It was a mistake." Lisa didn't mean it. Sarah laughed bitterly. "A mistake? You let her hurt our daughter and covered it up." He begged. "Please don't do anything rash." Think of Emily. Think of Emily. That's all she'd done. Mark slept on the couch that night. Sarah barricaded in the bedroom with Emily, mind whirling. Divorce was coming, but that wasn't enough. Mark and Lisa needed to face consequences, exposure, maybe legal action. Assault on a child? Yes. But Sarah wanted revenge that stung, that ruined their secret world. As dawn broke, a plan formed. She'd expose them at work, to friends, maybe the police, but carefully, so Emily was shielded. The betrayal burned, but it fueled her fire. Revenge simmers, builds until it's a perfect storm. Sarah spent the next week in quiet fury, pretending normalcy while plotting. Mark moved to a hotel to give space. But Sarah knew he was with Lisa. Good. It gave her time. She documented everything. Photos of Emily's bruises, the recording, emails, receipts. She met with a divorce lawyer, filing papers secretly. Adultery and child endangerment, the lawyer said. Strong case for full custody. But Sarah wanted more than legal wins. She craved justice that hit where it hurt. Mark's reputation, Lisa's career. Mark was up for a promotion. Exposure could shatter that. She contacted HR anonymously, sending snippets of evidence. Check your employees' conduct. Whispers spread at his office. Friends got subtle hints. Mark's not who he seems. Social media posts, vague but pointed. When trust is broken, truth comes out. For Lisa, Sarah dug deeper. A background check revealed Lisa's history, previous affair scandals. Sarah tipped off Lisa's boss, but the core was protecting Emily. Therapy started where Emily opened up. The lady was mean, she said. The therapist noted potential abuse. Sarah filed a police report subtly, calling it suspicious injury. Detectives questioned Mark and Lisa, who cracked under pressure. Sarah's plan unfolded like a chess game. She changed locks, secured finances. One night, she invited Mark over to talk. He arrived hopeful. Can we fix this? Sarah smiled coldly. No. But listen. She laid out the evidence. Resign or it all goes public. Mark blanched. You wouldn't. Try me. He left defeated. Lisa called, begging mercy. Please, I'll leave town. Sarah hung up. Mercy? After hurting her child? Tension thickened the air, making every breath heavy. Mark called constantly, alternating pleas and threats. You'll regret this, Sarah. She blocked him, focusing on Emily. School plays, park outings, normalcy amid chaos. But shadows lingered. Emily had nightmares, crying out. The stairs! Sarah held her, vowing they'd pay. Police investigation heated up. Detectives visited, taking statements. Emily, brave, recounted the push. She said, get out, and shoved me. Lisa lawyered up, but cracks showed. Mark's job hung by a thread. HR probed the affair. Colleagues distanced themselves. Sarah heard, Mark's in trouble. Satisfaction bloomed, but incomplete. One evening, a knock, Lisa at the door, disheveled. Please, stop this. I'll confess everything. Sarah crossed arms. Too late. You hurt my child. Lisa left in tears. Power shifted. Sarah held the cards, but doubt crept. Was revenge worth the toll? Emily asked, will Daddy come back? Heartbreak. No, sweetie. But we're okay. The company gala approached. Sarah bought a dress, elegant yet fierce. She'd arrive uninvited, confront during speeches. Evidence in a folder, emails, recording transcript. Friends warned, be careful. But fury drove her. Mark texted, don't do this. She replied, watch me. The night of the gala arrived like a thunderclap. Sarah drove to the venue, heart slamming. Elegant ballroom, suits and gowns. She slipped in, blending. Mark on stage soon for promotion. She spotted him, nervous, scanning. Lisa nearby, pale. The ballroom lights glittered, but to Sarah, it felt like a battlefield. She clutched her purse, evidence inside. Mark looked sharp in his tux, but sweat beaded on his forehead. Lisa hovered, dress sparkling, eyes darting. The CEO's speech droned. Achievements, dedication. Then, please welcome Mark Thompson. Applause. Mark stepped up, smiling forced. Sarah rose, voice steady. Stop. Before you honor him, know the truth. Heads turned. Mark had an affair with Lisa here. She pushed my daughter down the stairs to hide it. He lied to everyone. Whispers exploded. Mark's microphone voice cracked. Sarah, What are you doing? Telling the truth, she shot back, pulling out papers. Emails, texts, a confession recording. She hit play. Lisa's voice. I shoved her. Accident. Shocked silence, then uproar. The CEO frowned. This is inappropriate. But a board member said, we need to see that evidence. Sarah handed copies. Mark lunged, but security held him. Lisa burst into tears. It's not what it seems. Pandemonium. Phones out. Recording. HR whispered urgently. Police sirens wailed outside. Sarah's tip. Officers entered. Badges flashing. Mark Thompson, Lisa Grant. You're under arrest for child endangerment and conspiracy. Handcuffs clicked. Mark's eyes met Sarah's. Defeat. Regret. How could you? He whispered. How could you? She replied. Guests parted as they were led away. Sarah stood tall, adrenaline fading. A colleague approached. Brave. Sorry for your pain. She nodded, leaving with head high. In the car, tears came. Release. Home, Emily asleep. Sarah kissed her forehead. The climax passed. Healing began. With the arrests, Sarah's world shifted to courtrooms and healing. The courtroom was packed, tension thick. Mark and Lisa stood, lawyers flanking. Prosecutor laid out evidence. Emily's testimony via video, gentle but clear. She pushed me. Jury nodded. Defense argued accident, but recording sealed it. Verdict, guilty on lesser charges. Sentences light, probation, counseling, fines, but consequences heavy. Mark's career over. He took a low job elsewhere. Lisa moved states alone. Sarah exhaled relief. Divorce court next, adultery proven, assets split favorably. You're free, lawyer said. Emily hugged her. We did it, Mom. Life normalized. Mornings with coffee, school drop-offs, evenings reading stories. Sarah joined a support group, sharing her story, inspiring others. Betrayal hurts, but truth heals. Emily's birthday party. Friends, cake, laughter. No shadows. Sarah watched, grateful. New beginnings bloomed like spring flowers. Looking back, Sarah saw how small signs built to betrayal. Late nights, distant eyes, but she also saw her strength. Uncovering, confronting. Justice tasted sweet, though bittersweet. Friends asked, how did you do it? For Emily, she'd say. The experience changed her. Wiser, cautious, but open to joy. Sarah volunteered at child advocacy groups, helping others spot abuse. Emily grew confident, sharing her story in school essays. My mom is a hero. Pride swelled in Sarah. In the end, this story isn't just about one family's pain. It's a reminder for all. Betrayal cuts deep, especially when it harms the innocent. But seeking truth, no matter how hard, brings justice. Sarah's journey taught, listen to doubts, act with courage. Revenge isn't destruction. It's exposure, accountability. The impact rippled. Community awareness rose, more reports of hidden abuses. Sarah's bravery inspired. Years later, Sarah and Emily flourished. The scar remained, but as a badge of resilience. What if Sarah had stayed silent? Darkness wins. Instead, she chose light. And that's the true victory. Moral. Protect your loved ones fiercely. Lies crumble under light. Reflect, learn, move forward,